Alrighty guys, so I've already got my base on, I've got my foundation, concealer, powder on, and my brows on, which I don't normally do when I'm doing tutorials. It's a bit weird, but I wanted to save us a bit of time, and I'm going to be blending a lot of colour kind of outwards, so I want something there already. I don't have to try to work my concealer around all that and then have to come back and fix and reblend and everything. So if I put it down first, it's okay. If there's fallout, whatever, it's Halloween, who cares? But yeah, we're going to start with the eyes anyway and see how I get on. I am going to talk through this entire video, which is weird as all. But I have a cool thing that I thought would be a little bit fun to do, just because I don't want to keep chatting makeup all through this. And since it's Halloween, we might as well do a Halloween. This is a 30 spooky Halloween questions tag. I just have them on my computer. I'm just going to kind of answer them as I go and see what we think. It'll just be fun to kind of chit chat. I might not even get through them all. We'll see. But I am going to start off with my MAC 24-hour eye base primer for my eyes, just for something to stick everything onto. So let's start with the first question, just to fill up the silence. The first one is favorite horror or Halloween themed song. Oh, I should have probably read through these and thought of my answers. I mean, I like Monster Mash. I think that's kind of cool and funky. Reminds me of like Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I don't know if you remember that show. There's an episode where that song was played and it reminds me of that. Oh, I don't actually know. I mean, the Addams Family is quite a classic because you always know exactly and you have the whole clicking the fingers and everything. I'm going to say Addams Family, I think. Yeah, the theme song for the Addams Family. I'm not bringing my primer. Sometimes when I'm bringing shadow quite far, I'll usually bring a little bit of primer out as well, just so it'll stick to. But because I've already got like my base pretty much done, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to pop my base on my eyes and we're going to start there. It's going to be quite a normal, warm, rusty, rose gold kind of look so far. And then once we get to the blending out and the cheek area is when it's going to amp itself up. And I've got things to stick to my face, which I've worked on all day today. So let's get started with some colour. I'm going to mainly use, my voice keeps going, the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette because it's got all of the fall colours you could possibly want. And I think I'm going to take, as my first shade, I'm going to take the shade Eden. This like medium peach here. And I'm going to go in with my 6SS brush from Inglot, my big fluffy, my reliable, my baby. And we're just going to start with this in the crease. So the next question then is, name something you wouldn't want to run into in a dark forest or an abandoned building. I mean, that depends. I mean, there's most things out of horror films that I wouldn't actually want to run into, even if they don't particularly scare me. Like I think zombie apocalypse are quite cool. I love zombie movies and like I love The Walking Dead and stuff like that, but I don't ever want to meet a zombie. So yeah. But the thing that terrifies me the most is Reagan from The Exorcist and anything that's very similar to her. So like girls or young girls that are possessed that come crawling at you really quickly, particularly that. Yeah, no, I'm out. I don't like that. So I would say probably Reagan. And I know it's not her fault. She's just possessed. There's nothing she could have done about it. But like, she's scary. Her face is just scary. So I'm going to start my blending process onto my cheek right now with this shade, just as like a kind of guideline. I'm not going to worry about it too much in a few minutes, but like just to get us going out here. You can bring this up as high as what I'll probably actually bring it all. It might actually, yeah. That's what we're going to do. We're going to bring it all the way up to the brow. I think that'll make a bit more sense. And I'm not zoomed in as far as I normally do when I'm doing like my voiceovers because I want you to see my face when I'm talking. I think it'd be weird if it just seemed like a talking eye. I thought that might be a little bit awkward, so I've zoomed just out. So I was making my little appliances, my leaf appliances earlier. Ironically, the big leaves are actually just leaves from the garden because I couldn't find ones that I wanted that were fake. So I was like, screw it, just going from the garden. It's only going to be on me for a few minutes. I don't care. We're just going to work with it. It's all for art. Let's go. So I did that. But the other ones I didn't make them, but like I bought them and then added glitter to them basically. I was doing that today and I was watching Psycho by Alfred Hitchcock, which I do love. I do love that movie. It's such a good movie. So next shade I'm going to go into is Blazing, which is this little guy down here. It's a bright orange. And I'm going to go in with a slightly smaller brush. This is a MAC 217. So we're going to go into Blazing. And we're going to just mainly focus on the eyes now. This is kind of just a guideline as to where I'm going to start blending colours. But we're just going to focus on the eyes for now. This is just going to bring a little bit more warmth into the eye. I want this to be kind of like all the tones of a leaf minus the green. So like an autumn leaf. I want it to be like golds, and I want it to be like yellowy colours, and I want it to be like orange and burnt orange and red and rusty sort of shades. So this is what we're going for. And rose gold, even though that's not the colour of a leaf, but sure look. I was going to do amber, the kind of burnt orange up here. It's like deeper than this orange. But I think I might do saffron. Bring a bit of red in. Because the only other colour then I'm going to do in the crease is the brown. For now anyway. My eye is so itchy. Oh my god. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do for now. I'm going to take the same brush, I think. I'm just going to clean it. Where's my little thingy gone? Where did I put it? There it is. Let's answer another question while I'm doing this. Number 3, have you ever played with a Ouija board? No, I never plan to, and I will never be in the vicinity of someone who is playing with one. I don't particularly believe in all of that, but I have watched The Exorcist enough times to not mess with it. The Exorcist is that movie that will always scare me. I've tried watching it on my own, couldn't do it. I will not watch it on my own anymore. I'm forcing, because it's on my list of movies to watch this year, because it always is. I'm forcing my boyfriend to watch it with me, because I don't want to watch it on my own, and my mum won't watch it with me, so I got no one else. So yeah, every time I'm applying these colours, I'm slightly bringing them out just to kind of get it out there somewhere, but like, don't worry too much yet. I'm just bringing it a little bit, and we're just bringing this into the crease and the outer corner. I might bring a little bit more there. I'm kind of just winging this eye. Not actually winging it, well I am actually winging it, but like, I'm kind of just winging how I'm doing it. I just kind of know the colours and like the general look I want to go for, but I don't know the details just yet. So we're just going to hope for the best with this. I could hate it, but you know. Next question. I shouldn't not look in the mirror when I'm doing that. Next question is, favourite horror, monster or villain? Horror monster. Let's go with, who do I like the most? Dracula. If we're talking about like Universal Studios monsters, yeah, like Bela Lugosi, Dracula, and then Christopher Lee, not Joker, Dracula. Yeah, those, like Dracula in general, I feel like super cool. The movies are really cool. Frankenstein is a close second, but like, I prefer the Dracula movies, like the really old Dracula movies, like Nosferatu and all those kind of ones. And then favourite movie villain. Freddy Krueger. That's really generic, but he is just so fun, even though he shouldn't be, but he is fun. I don't know why. He just is. I really like him. Like, of all those kind of 80s slasher movie films, his are my favourites. His are the ones I can continue to watch. I've seen like Friday the 13th, but like some of them I'll never watch again. Not that I hated them, but they're just, they came out in a certain time when people could get behind that sort of thing, but nowadays you can't really. And I'm this type of person where I can fully appreciate the time when a movie came out. I can put myself into that time and appreciate that, yes, the special effects weren't great. Yes, the, acting in most films back then wasn't great either. But I do really, really appreciate, like, that got us to here, movie terms, and certain things inspired by those sort of things. So yeah, I would say Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger. Next question. The creepiest thing that's ever happened while you were alone? Nothing super creepy has ever happened while I'm alone. I mean, my house is a very creaky house, and sometimes it actually sounds like someone's walking upstairs, but that's just my floor creaking, and there's nothing I can do about that. And, well, I'm hoping it's just my floor creaking. That's what I have in my head that it is, so we'll see. I'm going to use the shade Oud, whatever way you want to call it, the dark brown, that one. And I'm going to take a Makeup Geek Defined Crease Brush. Let's go back to that question actually. Oh, I do remember something. I don't really know. This could have just been my head. Like I wouldn't say it was a ghost or anything like that. One time I was falling asleep. It wasn't too late. It was like maybe 10 o'clock or something like that. But I was just lying in bed and I was like probably watching a movie and I was falling asleep. Lights were all on. Everything was on. Everything's fine. But you know when you're kind of like half asleep? You're not quite fully there yet, and any little noise will wake you back up straight away. I was basically in that sort of state. And then in my head, or I did actually hear it, but I'm going to say it was in my head, I heard someone, it was a girl's voice, pretty sure it was, kind of whisper in my ear saying, "We know." I don't know what they know, but that's what I heard. Again, it could have been dreaming because I was in that like half dream-like state, and I don't know. That really, because I proper like jumped up and like, oh my god, what the hell was that? But yeah, so that would probably be the only really creepy thing that's ever happened. Next question. If you were dared to spend the night in a haunted house, would you do it? Depends on, say, it's haunted, why it's haunted. That would be the factor. Yes, I probably would, just for shits and giggles. I mean, I could get murdered, but like, you know, not really much I can do about that once that happens. But yeah, I love the idea of haunted houses. I love, like, say like the Addams Family, like their house. I was saying to my boyfriend, I really, really love that kind of house. I would actually love to live in a house like that. I know it's so weird and old and like grubby and like there's cobwebs everywhere and dust everywhere, and that's the kind of style of living. I don't mean that, but that style, like that real gothic Victorian sort of style house. Love it. Oh my god, love it. What am I going to do now? So we've got this much done. I'm not going to do it underneath just yet because I'm not really sure what I want to do yet underneath the eye. I do have an idea now that I want to do in a second, but I'll do that in a few minutes. Actually, no, I'm going to do it now. Screw it. See, this is all over the place. This is like my least planned look. I decided to do this like 2 days ago and went shopping today for leaves, which was really weird. I'm going to go back in with my 6SS from Ingla, and we're going to start with our lightest shade again, the shade Eden. And we're going to do what I call the Tim Burton style smoky eye. So it's going to start right in here. I don't know if he created this, but whenever I see this, I always think of Tim Burton. Just to give a slightly odd look to the look. Just so that it's not too glam. We're going to bring it right in here. I love doing this. This is like my favourite thing to do. I've been wearing this a lot into work. Not just because it's October. This is kind of like my new thing now. Okay, next question. Are you superstitious? Not particularly. I'm not one of these, you know, don't stand on a crack, break your mother's back. I'm not one of those kind of people. Superstitious? No, I'm not really at all. Not that I can think of. I mean, if a mirror broke, I would be a bit freaked out because that's kind of embedded in me from my family, but it's not particularly me. I'd kind of get over it eventually, do you know what I mean? I've got family members that would never, ever, ever get over it and would blame everything that ever happens to them after that on the mirror. That's just the way they are. Sorry, I just took a bit of the blazing colour here and just kind of put that bit deeper in, and then going back in with my 6SS to blend. I talk really fast, by the way, so you just have to bear with me. And then I'm going to go take the Saffron shade, the kind of reddish shade, I can't talk today and my voice is going as well, which is just not helping. Okay, so on the lid, we're going to go for the lid now. I'm going to go into the shade Blood Moon, which is this one, isn't it? Yes. This one. Blood Moon, it's like a shimmery copper sort of shade. And just on a little flat brush, just like this, we're just going to pop this on the lid. Ooh, that's pigmented. That's more pigmented than I thought it was going to be. Well, I haven't used the shade yet, obviously. Do you ever see figures in your peripheral vision? Yes, I do actually. Kind of, like, I'll be kind of like maybe walking down the street or be like on the bus home or something like that. And you're not really minding what you're looking at out the window, but you're not really properly looking at them. You might be looking at your phone, but you'll kind of glance a little bit. I've often seen people and I'd be like, oh yeah, that person, I like in my head, I'm like, I just seen a person with like a blue and white striped top, whatever it is. And then I look out and there's no one there. Is that weird? Or is that just my mind kind of putting someone there? I don't know. Next, I'm going to go into Angelic down here, which is like a rose gold. It's like a pink shimmer with a gold shimmer in it as well. I'm just going to take the same brush. I'm just going to wipe it off a little bit and I'm just going to pack that on the inner third of the lid. See how this looks. Oh, I like it. It's quite nice. By the way, guys, this is going to be a very long video. I just realised I'm already filming for 20 minutes and not much of this I'm going to really cut out because it's a chit-chatty video, so just bear with me, please. Go get a snack, go get something to eat, go make yourself a cup of tea and prepare yourself. That's all I can say to you. So next I'm going to work on my lower lash line now and just see what I want to do here because I don't really know. Well, I kind of have an idea. I'm not going to join it up here anyway and bring it quite far because this is going to be where it joins down onto my cheek. So I'm just going to take my 6SS why can't I say that? 6SS brush mingler and take Eden again. We're just going to repeat the process. We're just going to whack that all along, and because I've got my concealer down I don't have to worry about going back in to conceal. We're literally going to bring this like right down, kind of where you'd highlight almost. So let's see, next question. Which urban legend scares you the most? Don't really know many. I know one that scared me when I heard about it first and the game kind of came out, and that was Slender Man. It didn't actually like scare me, but I remember when I first heard it I was like, oh, that's real freaky. And then we played the game and that scared me. Like the game scared me. That's what it was. So I don't really know any urban legends except maybe a Ouija board. So next I'm going to take my 217 again and we're going to go into blazing and we're going to do the same thing. We're just not going to bring it down like this far. We're going to kind of stop it about here, if that makes sense. Yeah, so we're going to run that along here just to give it a bit more colour. And then let's see the next question. Do you prefer gore or thrillers? Not too fussed on either. As in I like both, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, I don't really mind. It depends on my mood. Like I do love a good gore fest. I find it quite fun. That makes me sound like a very weird person, but I am. Thrillers, then I have to be in the mood for a thriller. I do have to be in the mood for one, but I do like them. Like earlier today I was watching Psycho. That to me is a thriller. And probably the best thriller of all time. Like it depends on the movie. It depends on the style of the movie. Next question. Do you believe in multiple dimensions or worlds? No. Do I? No, I don't. No. I don't know. I kind of just live in a reality of this is where I am. This is what exists. This is what I can see. I'm a skeptic person. So I need proof of things. It's like with ghosts, I need proof. If I had proof now, I'd be like, oh no. But I do need proof. I got that from my dad. He was a very like, prove it to me, what you're saying, and all this slightly scientific mind, if that makes sense. So you just need proof of things to actually fully believe them. I look ridiculous. I'm just saying myself. Look like I've got the worst case of pink eye right now. Sorry, I just took Saffron. I keep forgetting to mention these. Saffron, and just blended that up. Again, not as high down or not as far down as the blazing shade that we just put down. A little bit higher up. And then we're going to go into Ode, the dark brown. And same brush that we used with that one before. And we're just going to blend this right the way along. Okay, so next question. Ever made a potion of any sort? No. Not that I know of. Do you get scared easy? Depends on... Well, I'll say yes, actually, yeah. I'm one of these people that I love scary films. But I will literally sit watching it like this. Or I'll be like, I won't look directly at the screen, I'll look to the top corner of the screen when I'm watching the movie. I like to kind of know when the jump scares are coming or when the scary bit is going to happen. Just so I'm prepared, but I'll watch the scary bit then once I know. If that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? I love the style of horror films. I've found kind of, obviously the older I've gotten, less scares me. To a point, I find that I'm more conditioned into the horror world, if that makes sense. So I know what exactly scares me. I've been watching every horror movie review I can find ever on the internet. My boyfriend keeps slagging me saying another movie review. I'm like, yes it is. I'm just fascinated. I just like listening to them. I like people's opinions on the horror movie genre. I'm drinking a Coke, by the way. Next question. Have you ever played Bloody Mary? No, because like I said, I don't necessarily believe in ghosts. I don't want to mess with them though, if they are there. Basically. Like I said, I don't particularly believe in ghosts, but I will never use a Ouija board, so therefore I'll never do Bloody Mary. Now, what am I going to do next? This is the big question. And I'm going to move away from my eyes. I know I have no inner corner highlight on. I don't know if I'm going to do one. I might not. I don't know what one I want to do yet. So we're just going to skip that for a few minutes. We're going to leave the eyes. We're going to start with the blend out here, which is the main part of this that I wanted to do. The main reason I wanted to do this. Okay, I've got an array of colours for my cheeks. Don't really know where to start with this. I'm actually going to go back into the Desert Dusk palette first because I just want to bring this out a little bit more. I'm going to just take the Eden shade. This is a Inglot 4SS, so it's just a giant version of the other brush I was using. And we're just going to start going crazy and just blending this all the way around. Now, let's see. What's my next question? Do you believe in demons and the devil? Again, no, don't fully believe. Prove it to me, and I probably would, but no, I don't really. You're home alone, but you hear footsteps in your house. What do you do? Play it off, because my house sounds like it has footsteps. Like I said, my floors are very creaky floors, so it does sound like someone's walking around in my house. If you got trapped in one scary movie, which would you choose? What would I choose? I'm kind of tempted to say a zombie movie, only because I think, could I survive a zombie? No, I probably wouldn't really in real life. No, I can't really run that fast, so therefore they'd get me. It's not, I can run fast, I just can't run far. Can't do long distance. What one would I pick? Not The Exorcist, because by God would I be out of that house. I don't know how that mother stayed there. Jesus. I know it's her child now, but no. Nope. I want to say something like, I don't really know actually. Poltergeist? I watched that the other day. Was not even the slightest bit scared. Enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good film. Not even a little bit scared of it though. I don't know, maybe something like that. So let's see. If you could only wear one Halloween costume for the rest of your life, what would it be? Zombie. Do you know why? Because you can do any kind of zombie you want. Your zombie could die anyway. It's one thing I learned when I started doing makeup and started doing anything special effects. The zombie can be anything. It's the easiest costume you could do. You can make anything dead. And it's a zombie. So there you go. Quick tip. I'm just kind of blending this like around my brow and kind of as if I'm contouring with it, but I'm not. I'm like really adding a lot of colour. Really building it up. Bringing it kind of down onto my cheek to about there, to like where the start of my outer corner of my eye is. That's kind of where we're going to stop there, because I do want to use quite nice iridescent blushes to blend back so it looks very ethereal and very fairy-like. Next question. Would you ever go to a graveyard at night? Yes, I would. Yeah. Not on my own. I wouldn't even walk around where I live on my own, Christ's sake. I'm just taking a little bit of Saffron. I'm skipping blazing right now because I want this to look more like a blusher now. So I want the kind of red tones to come out a little bit more. Yeah, I would go into a graveyard at night. Just not alone. I think it'd be fun to do it at night. I'd love to do it like Halloween night. That'd be fun. I know how to kill zombies if they do come for me, so there you go. I'll watch The Walking Dead. In a zombie apocalypse, what is your weapon of choice? I'm gonna say a long knife, like a machete, or like Michonne's katana in The Walking Dead, like something like that. Probably not a gun. In a horde of zombies, yes, a gun. Obviously, it's easier. But if it's only a few, like you don't want to attract zombies to you. So a knife is silent. I know about my zombies, trust me. Would you rather go to a Halloween party or go trick-or-treating? I would say both. I would say I'd love to be able to go trick-or-treating now, even at this age, because I'm 24 and apparently I'm too old to go trick-or-treating, even though I'm not, and I would and everything, but no one else will go with me, so there you go. And I cannot wait to have doggos, and I'm going to dress them up if they want to be dressed up. I'm not going to force them to dress up, but if they like being dressed up, and we're going to go trick-or-treating, and I'm going to give my neighbours treats to give them just to make them happy and to make me happy, and it will be the best Halloween ever. But say like right now, the age I am right now, probably a Halloween party or like a Halloween night out. I kind of prefer parties though, because you can kind of enjoy everyone's costume more. You can kind of get up close and see all the costumes. When you're out on a night out in like a club or something like that, it's kind of, you're too many people, you might not get in anywhere. It's very stressful that night. Just depends on the night. You're in a horror movie. Are you the final girl, the first to die, the comic relief, the skeptic, the smart one, or the killer? I'd hope I'm the final girl. I'm probably the skeptic and hopefully the final girl. Or I'm the skeptic and the first to die. I'm either one of those. I'm not the comic relief, because in that situation I would be crying. I'm probably not the smart one, and I couldn't kill anyone. So look at my arms. Could I even try? Are you for real? And this is something that I got new recently. I got it in TK Maxx actually, so it was quite cheap. This is the Nars Blush Duo in Fervor. That one. And they're both quite shimmery blushes. I'm going to start with the lighter one. We're just going to start like bringing this down. Making sure it goes into this blush as well. So we're kind of turning this into our blusher and bringing this backwards to meet it. Next question is, do you have to watch something happy after watching a horror movie, or can you go to sleep? Depends on the movie. No, actually it wasn't even the first time I watched The Exorcist. The first time I watched The Exorcist all the way through. First time I watched The Exorcist, I watched it from the crucifix moment, which is horrific. If you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I've seen it from that moment onwards. Was the first time I ever watched it. The second time I ever watched it, and I was fine watching it the first time. I had no issue watching it the first time. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was really good. I thought it was creepy, but I wasn't particularly terrified or anything like that. But when I watched it the second time, we watched the whole way through, and yes, the beginning is quite slow, and yes, all of this and all of that, and whatever you want to say about it. But just before the crucifix bit is the stairs bit, and if you, again, watch that movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And yes, it kind of looks ridiculous, but that, for me, is terrifying. That, to me, is what nightmares are made of. I could not walk up the stairs on my own for 2 weeks after that movie. I had to get my mother to bring me to the toilet. That's how bad it has affected me. I've gotten over that since. But I still get freaked out about being on the stairs sometimes at night time, and that moment just terrified me. So when I watch it the second time and seeing that moment and being petrified, I almost couldn't watch anymore. We did watch, not, I wouldn't say a happy film, but we watched Wanted, that one with James McAvoy and Angelina Jolie and Morgan Freeman, where they're like hitmen. I watched that one, and just because we couldn't actually take any more horror films, because I think before that we watched something else. As far as I know, we watched a different horror film. I'm just taking the darker shade in this palette, and I'm just bringing that where the two colours meet each other, like where the blush and this part meets, in between, just to help blend. I also brought some of the light pink one up here. So now we look like Rihanna at the Met Gala, which, love that makeup, by the way. I'm going to take a highlighter. This is MAC's Show Gold Extra Dimension Skin Finish. It came out with the Christmas collection. This is the packaging of it, but this is actually a permanent product. It's just not packaged like this all the time. This was just for that time of year. And I think I'm going to go with, I'm going to take my 4SS again, and I'm going to go with this. This has got like a gold beige base with this really bright pink shift to it. We're just going to take this on the cheekbone. You see that? What's the next question? Whilst watching scary movies, are you the person who yells at the characters, the person with their eyes covered the whole time, or the person who falls asleep? I'm the person who has their eyes closed, but not for the whole time. I'm the one who particularly watches the movie all the way through. I get invested. I like it. My boyfriend is the one that shouts at the screen, because he's like, "Why are you going into the room?" And I'm like, "Shut up, it's because if you don't go into the room, we don't have a movie." So yeah, I'm that kind of person, and he's that kind of person. And next one is, are you the one who gets scared or the one that does the scaring? I'm the one that gets scared. I've only once in my life ever pulled a scary prank on someone and they actually cried. And it was as a group effort, it wasn't just me. I'm not just a horrible person on my own, I'm a horrible person in a group of people. But they cried. It wasn't a horrific prank or anything like that. We tied fishing wire to like picture frames and moved them and like it was, stupid crap basically, but they cried. Yeah. But in general, no, I'm not the one who does the scaring. I'm the one who gets pranked most of the time. Yeah, not fun. So, our cheeks are done. Now what? Now what do I want to do? I think for my inner corner highlight, I think I'm going to use the highlighter. Where's my brush gone? There it is. I'm going to take the same highlighter just because it's there and it's simple and it's pretty and it goes. So that's why. We're just going to pop a little bit of this in here. What's our next question? I'm almost out of questions. I'm going to have to find another one. Favorite scary book? I've never read a scary book. Yeah, never read like any Stephen King books or anything like that. I would really like to. I have, this is not really like an adulty book. Darren Shan, he's an Irish writer. Zombie books, I've got one of them. And I read like the first couple of pages, but I remember reading the first couple of pages after I got it, and I was actually out, I was in Burger King with my mum after just buying it, and while I was waiting on the food, I started reading the book, and then she came over, sat down and scared the shit out of me. Not intentionally, I was very engrossed in the book, and it's about zombies and someone was getting eaten, and it scared the shit out of me, basically. Next question is, how old were you when you saw your first horror movie? I don't actually know. I can't really remember how old exactly I was. I remember my first horror movie was Halloween H2O. That was the first one I... Was it? Or was it Scream? No, it was Halloween H2O. I had seen... No, I don't really class it as a horror movie. Jaws. I'd seen Jaws when I was like 5. No, I was about 6 actually. I was about 6 when I watched Jaws. Pre getting on the Jaws ride, so I wasn't actually scared of them then. I really enjoyed it. Then I got on the Jaws ride and can't cope anymore with sharks. I do have a picture of me with my head in the shark's mouth that you get your picture taken outside the ride, and that was before I got on the ride. If I had done that now, actually I've been there since many times and I can't even stand beside that shark. I have to be the one taking the photographs. I won't even go up onto the platform where the shark is, because in my irrational, messed up, weird head, that shark is coming to get me, and as soon as I step up there, it's going to go for me. So no, I will not. Yeah. So that would be probably technically my first one. But I remember watching Halloween H2O with Jamie Lee Curtis in it. I think I might add a bit more to my eyes. I don't know if this is going to ruin everything, but I have this pigment. This is Max Reflex Bronze. This is in limited edition packaging, but it is a permanent product again. It's a very fine bronze sparkly glitter. Will this ruin it? Do I want to go this far? Because I've got quite a bit of gold in the leaves and stuff like that I have that I want to put on. I'm going to do it. I'm going to press it just there. I'm going to just take a little bit of my 24-hour eye base again. Tiniest bit. If you can hear something growling, that's my stomach. I'm not hungry. I've just eaten. That's me digesting. My stomach makes a lot of noise when I digest. I'm just kind of not even taking much product on. You can't even see how much product I have there. It literally just coats my finger, and I'm just gonna really lightly press that onto my eye. What's our next question? What was your first Halloween costume? I don't know, actually. I don't know what my very first one was. I know I remember what one of them was. One of my earlier ones. Actually, I remember two from like really early on. One was a black cat. Not like Catwoman, but like an actual black cat. My mum made the costume, and she made my tail out of tights filled with socks. And I was actually that a couple of times. Now that I think about it. I don't want this to completely coat the eye. I want it to just be a little bit. The other one I do remember is a wizard. I was a wizard one year. Got a lot of slagging for being a wizard one year. Everyone's saying, that's not scary. I didn't want to be scary. I wanted to be a wizard. That's why. I was the weird kid. I was always the weird kid, and it was fun. It was always fun. I had a great time. What are you going to be for Halloween this year? You will see. I've already filmed it. It will be up after this one. Yeah. Not straight after this one. It will be up the week after this one, hopefully. Yeah, I've already filmed it. And it was kind of like my practice run, and I decided to film it as well to see how it went. Yeah, you'll see. So I think that's my eyes done. I think I'm going to do liner now and just get them finished with. This is going... Oh, I hit my mic. Oh no. So I'm going to go in with some liner. I'm going to take a really nice thin brush. And this is just a Bobbi Brown black ink longwear gel liner. We just go with this guy. I'm out of my Duraline from Inglot, which I like to mix in with all of these to make it really nice and fluid. I'm out of it, and I forgot to buy some today when I was shopping for my leaves, so I'm devastated. So my liner application might be a bit iffy. Okay, so lashes are now on. They're big, and do I look like a fairy yet? I don't know. So that's pretty much eyes, cheeks done. I think now what I'm going to do is my lip, just to give me a complete face, and this is kind of where you could stop it as well. I was a bit, what will I do with my lip? I still not too particularly sure. I know I've got this guy, which I kind of want to use because it ties in nice with the rosy gold sort of shade. This is a Catrice liquid lip powder. Basically a matte liquid lipstick, just with a fancy name. This is in the shade Copper and Spice, so I think I'm going to use this. And I might do a brown into that ombre sort of lip. I don't know. I've got Film Noir lipstick, which I had in my top 5 autumn lips. It's a deep brown sort of shade. So yes, I'm thinking that. I'm going to start off though with some chestnut pencil from MAC, just the dark brown as well, and we're just going to line the lips. I'm just slightly kind of bringing it in a little bit, but just not all the way. And then on the inner and outer corners, I'm just bringing those in. Very hard to talk when you're lining your lips. Okay, so we'll just see how it looks. I'm just going to take this, just go over that lip line. I'm just using the very point of the bullet and going in. And just flipping it around and going like this. Just so that I don't have to use a brush. I don't want to use a brush because that just takes too long. You can kind of start the blending process by just don't rub your lips together, but like that'll just soften the edges. And then we're going to take our liquid lip powder. Let's just see how this looks. Yeah, kind of like it. Let's see how it goes with the rest of the look, but we'll leave it on for now. Let's see what's next. I think we'll start applying some leaves because I'm worried about this bit and I'm putting it off the whole time. So I think it's time now to just face it and we're going to stick them on. So, like I said, I did just kind of grab leaves from outdoors. Not the most sanitary, would not recommend, but that's all I could do. So I've kind of cut this one. This one looked like a smaller version of this one. So I've just kind of cut it in half because this is just ginormous. It was too big. This one was like the perfect size. And we're going to kind of do a little layering process of our leaves. I'm going to use some spirit gum to apply them. So I'm going to take my spirit gum and I'm gonna apply it to the leaf because I'm not I want to make sure I get it in the right spot, basically. Make sure you get all the way across the edges. And I'm not applying to the entire leaf, obviously. I'm just applying it to like where I need to stick it down. I do want it to stick up a little bit, kind of in these parts. I want to stick out. I just want it to be like that little lip there. And you want to let spirit gum dry a little bit until it goes a little bit sticky. Okay, so I said I'm going to do it about here. So I'm going to hold it a little bit just so that it stays in place. So we got our little leafy leaf on. So my next plan then was these little guys. So I got these little gold leaves and I just got this is the Snazzaroo glitter gel. This is just a red one, and I just painted the ends of this in that, just to give a bit of dimension, a bit of colour, a bit of difference in the colours. And I'm going to do like one here and one there. Now let's just hope that these stay. So my last little leaf that I have are these guys. I've put some of the glitter glue, glitter gel things on that as well. I kind of put the red in between the divots and on the high points I put the gold. So what I'm going to do with this guy is cut it. Where's my scissors gone? I'm just going to cut it at the stem. Not cutting. Here we go. Just cutting it at the stem so we just have the leaf, and I just want to measure how far across I want to go with this. So do I want to go there? I'm gonna have to cut it about, I'm gonna cut it about here. Okay, I'm back in with our spirit gum. I've been filming this look for 2.5 hours. Halloween looks take a lot out of you, I have to say. So, with the leaves then, I'm going to move down. I'm going to zoom you out a little bit more. There we go. So you can see my chest a little bit more. So I've got a big one here. My big one, which I'm thinking of putting kind of here. And then have like a scatter of the gold kind of going up. So it kind of joins with this side as well. I think that would look very pretty. Okay, so this is on. Stuck this down, stuck the leaves down, put one of these like lighter gold leaves down. I took a little bit of like the orangey coloured eyeshadows and kind of put it in between so it looks like a trail of the leaves going by. I'm putting on my jaw layer as well just to make sure it look like it's falling down. So I'm just going to do a little bit of final touches, nothing too extreme. I've got these guys, let me just grab them. So I've got a little wheel of coloured rhinestones that I've had for about a million years. I got this in the Art and Hobby shop in Dublin. And I'm going to probably use maybe some red, orange. Yeah, red, orange, maybe a pink as well, just to kind of tie in with the blushy kind of colours. I've got these guys as well. I don't know if I'm going to use these though, but I do have these guys. These are so pretty. I got these today. So these are like little pearl stud kind of things. And there's, you know, normal pearl colours, there's black ones, there's these burgundy which I'm going to use, and these kind of antique gold sort of ones which I'm probably going to use as well, in 3 different sizes. So I think I might start with some of these and then move on to the little rhinestones. I'm going to see if I've got any more bigger rhinestones as well. I have a stash of rhinestones. I like my rhinestones, so we'll just see how we go. So let's start with the big ones, and I'm just going to use my lash glue. I'm not going to go into anything too extravagant. It's just a little duo latex free one, I think this one is. So our next question is, if you could have a spooky Halloween pet, a black cat, owl, bat, rat, or a wolf, what would you pick? I mean, that for me is no, like absolutely no question about it at all. I'd be picking a wolf. I'm a dog person. I wouldn't mind a black cat as well because I think they're really cute. But I'm a wolf kind of gal. I prefer werewolves over vampires. I've always been a werewolf girl. I don't know. I just like them. So it would 100% be a wolf for me. And imagine having a giant doggo. Giant doggo, what more could you want in your life? Big snuggly doggo that could eat you, but he won't because you're his mama or dada, whichever. That's what I want. That's what I want in general with a dog. I want something that I think will look really beastly and badass, but it's the cuddliest doggo in the world. I don't have a doggo. My mother will not get me a doggo. I have just adopted my boyfriend's dog. Okay, I found one. So this is a horror movie tag, and the first one is, what's the first horror movie you remember watching? I'm gonna say Halloween Resurrection, or Halloween H2O, that was the one I've seen. What is your favourite horror movie? If we're saying horror movie as in something that horrified me and scared me to absolute death, Exorcist, 100%, no question about it. Gotta be The Exorcist, because I still can't watch that movie on my own. I don't care what year it came out, I can't watch that on my own. I'm just taking my little rhinestone wheel. I'm taking the red ones. I need something to put them into. That's what I'm looking for. Aha! Just pouring a few out, just so I can get at them a little bit better. I'm gonna take a Real Techniques brush because the ends of these are rubberized and they're really good for picking up rhinestones by the top of them. And I'm gonna just take some lash glue and I'm just gonna dot this kind of where I want these to go. Just a few at a time so the lash glue doesn't dry. Just gonna do about 6 of them. And little trick, just lightly lick the end of it. It's kind of gross, but sure, look, it's your own face. And it'll just pick them up for you. So what's our next question? What is your favourite horror movie genre? Something that I enjoy watching is like a slasher film. I enjoy watching that in like with a group of people. I like watching possession movies if I actually want to be really scared. I love classic horror movies like Psycho, like Nightmare on Elm Street. I like all of those kind of ones. Next question is, what genre scares you the most? Possession movies always scare me. Weirdly enough though, only with girls. I don't know if anyone's ever seen the movie Delivers from Evil with Eric Bana in it. It's a very, very good movie. Highly recommend it. Quite scary. Depending on what you're scared of, but I was quite scared watching it. That movie, there's a guy in it that gets possessed, and I was not scared of him in the slightest. Well, like, I mean, I kind of was, but no, I wasn't really, actually, to be honest. But at some point, there's a girl in it that gets possessed, and I was terrified of her. Oh my god, could not cope when she was on screen. What is the last horror movie you watched that actually scared you? What was it? I'm going to say it was It, the remake, because I was actually properly scared. I went to see that in cinema, which I'm very happy I did. I thought that was awesome. I loved it. It was so much fun. It was so fun going to see it as well, because I went with my best friend and we had such crack. If anyone is not Irish watching my videos, crack is not like crack cocaine and crack the drug. Crack means having a good time, having a laugh, having the absolute crack, basically. Translations. Next movie, or next question. Who is your ultimate scream queen? I mean, I kind of want to say Jamie Lee Curtis because I just watched the movies there recently. But for me, it's going to be kind of, I wouldn't say controversial, but it might be. What's her name? Sydney from Scream, because she's a badass as well. I thought she was so cool. Not that Jamie Lee Curtis isn't, but I thought she was super cool. I always really liked her. I love the Scream movies. Really loved them. I love them all. I thought they were really good. Love the storyline through them all. Our next question is, what's a concept that you like to see in horror films? I don't know. I don't actually know. I'm not really good at coming up with my own concepts with like movies and stuff like that and storylines. What is your favourite on-screen kill? Oh no, hang on a minute. On-screen kill. I loved in Friday the 13th, not Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. I always say Friday the 13th for Nightmare on Elm Street, and I don't know why. In Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one, the girl at the beginning, I can't remember her name, when she dies and she gets thrown around the room and she's like slash piece and you see the face through the wall. Love it so much. I also quite liked in Nightmare on Elm Street, I think it's the third one. Dream Fighters or whatever it's called. That one. Sorry, I hit my mic again. When this is actually the one that scares my boyfriend the most. Was the one where he gets your man by his like tendons. He pulls out all his like tendons in his dream and kind of use them like a ventriloquist doll. Took me a second there to get that one. I thought that was really fun. So next one is, what's your favorite horror franchise? Oh, that's a difficult one. I do love Final Destination. Really love those movies. They're really fun. Again, I love Scream. I love the storyline of Scream. I think it's really fun. I'm saying fun for all of these, even though they're horror films. And that makes me sound like an absolute psychos. Our next question is, what's your favourite horror franchise? What is your favourite horror director? I might just have to go with Wes Craven because he has created two of my favourite franchises, like full-on franchise, in Scream and Nightmare on Elm Street. I do also love William Friedkin because he directed The Exorcist and I thought that was an absolute masterpiece. Okay, I'm out of questions now. I can't find any more. So I'm going to just finish up here, I think. I might add some more rhinestones. I probably won't. I quite like how this is looking. So yeah, I think I'm pretty much done. So this is the finished look. I put my little headband on, which I'm loving. Obviously my hair was down in the last little clip there. I just want to mention that I changed my lips slightly. I used the same lip pencil again, and I took the glitter that I put on here, the Reflex Bronze that I put on top. I went like this and pressed it on so it showed all the cracks, but almost looks like gold leaf on the lips. I thought that looked really, really cool. Yes, everything is stuck on, rhinestones are stuck on. I apologise if this is a long video, but I wanted to chit chat, I wanted to talk about movies, I want to talk about stuff, I wanted to talk you guys through all this, but yeah, I love how it turned out. If you liked how it turned out, then give me a big thumbs up, give me a comment down below, let me know what you think of this look, and what's your favourite horror movie or Halloween movie, because there's a difference. Yeah, if you watch a lot of them, you know the difference. But yeah, favourite horror movie or Halloween movie. And hit subscribe down below to see more videos and to find out what I'm going to dress up as for Halloween, which will be up next week hopefully. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video guys. Bye!